Okay, hi, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where we're catalysts in each other's lives as well as our own, and we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. I just woke up a little while ago, as you can probably tell, and I wanted to jump back into this fellowship, uh, the fellowship that I'm a juror on, the fellowship applications, because I'm pretty excited. I got through 11 or 12 last night and wanted to dive back in because I landed on several, the next three that I have to do, that are, well, they're polished. And I want to share this information with you. I'm not sure if I was clear at all yesterday, but I want to share this information with you because I know I've felt held back, and I haven't gotten things that I've applied to for the most part. I haven't. I've been stuck at this in between level, between where I really want to be, kind of feeling a little locked out from where I really want to be, and the things that venues and opportunities that I've already done. I've already been there, I've done it, and I want to move on. I want to climb up the ladder. So I'm learning while the artists that I'm a juror for are learning. Well, not some of them have already, been quite accomplished. And while you're learning, and I want to share this with you as we go along, because, I've now hit on 5 or 6 that have me not rethinking, but understanding how to write an essay better. Honestly, for years, I've been stabbing in the dark. I've been trying to figure it out myself because I've had no one to show me, not a single human being to show me. I can go on their website, like Brian Rutenberg. I love his stuff. I love his accomplishments. It's really extraordinary how far he's gone as a painter. And he's really where I want to be. And he's good-humored and funny, or not. But he's everything he does is just kind of perfection in a way. Vanessa German, the sculptor I've talked about many, many times, she is way up there. So I go on their websites. I go on, artist websites, not all the time, but once in a while, and I go, why not me? But also, I try and understand. I try and learn and understand. And all I've been able to think is, well, it's because the opportunities, the doors haven't opened to me. I haven't been able to open the doors. As determined as I am and loud as I can be, I haven't been able to open the doors. And a lot of times I think, oh, it's the work, and I evaluate my work. I evaluate my portfolios. I have very clear intent. I know exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how, and I hold that while I'm creating the work. So how intent is applied to how I work. I've given the best presentations I've known how. And then at some point I also go, oh, this is all I know. And I'm not learning. I have no one to show me. I've had no one to show me. I went to college for about 5 minutes and didn't learn very much there, other than I don't like being around people who are high and having orgies. So I really didn't learn much there, besides the people I don't want to be around. And from there, it's been me trying to figure it out, and that's what we've been doing on this channel for 12 years, is trying to figure it out, but trying to figure it out together, and getting sad and blah, 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 and frustrated, but also lately having successes. And that's what I want to share with you, is the successes. And how do we get there? How do we have that success? For me, last year, I won 2 fellowship awards. I was shocked. I mean, honestly, I was deathly shocked. I'm still shocked. And one came from an organization I've never heard of before. They contacted me. They found me. I apparently knew people there, but I didn't know this board existed. I knew people on the board, but didn't know they were on a board or anything about the organization. You can't apply. They just go, you know what? Here, keep doing what you're doing. And in this, it's kind of the same thing. Keep doing what you're doing. We believe in you. We believe so strongly in what you're doing that we want you to be comfortable and have some space. So the next time I apply to this particular fellowship, the one that we're looking at, the one we're talking about, I will have a better presentation now. But also, as I go forward and apply, I'll have a better presentation because I'm looking at other artists' work, their websites, their reading their CVs and their artist statements, and I'm like, oh, okay. And it's not that I'm copying. I don't believe in copying. I do not believe in copying other people's anything. Ever. I think that's lazy. It nails on a chalkboard to me. But they're having me think about myself, having me think about the way I present my work as an artist without words, without speaking. And it's incredible. It's like magic. It's like somebody's opened Pandora's box and I can breathe. And that's what I want to share with you. So yesterday when we were talking, in the last video when we were talking, I was talking about the criteria that I was handed as a juror for this particular fellowship. And I have been tasked with going through, 50 applications. 50 applications for visual artists. So I'm not reviewing writers' work because I'm not a writer. I'm not reviewing who else? Scientists because I'm not a scientist. You know, there's a lot of categories. Dance. I'm not a dancer. It would be inappropriate to hand those categories to me, but the organization believes that I have the capability to be a juror on their behalf for visual artists. And it's not because I'm cruel or rude or I'm going to be snotty or, oh, you're not as good as me. That's not it, and that's not the way I approach things, despite I've gotten a few comments or messages from people who don't understand what's going on or think they understand, but don't quite. It's not me going, well, you're not as good as me. I'm so awesome. I'm looking at people's work going, what is that? That's fantastic. I have been tasked with this assignment on behalf of this organization because they understand I will be fair. I will be compassionate. I will act with compassion. I will be fair. I will be reading their CVs and going to their websites and also reading their statements, their proposals and statements, and grading their presentation with the eyes of possibility, through the eyes or through the lens of possibility. In the last video, I believe, as well as other things I can't think of because I just woke up, but in the last video, I talked about people who use flowery language, and flowery language, as I've discussed many times over the years and with hundreds of artists all over the world, and hundreds of artists that have been around me, flowery language is a mask. So I've started to read statements by artists, and they've used all this really silly, flowery, like dancing in the sand with your shoes off, twirling under the stars kind of language, and it's irritating. It is so irritating, but they're using it as if it is evident that they don't have confidence, which is perfectly fine. God knows, I mean, I have confidence, and then there's times I just don't. But it feels like they're trying to mask what they're lacking. So we try and see beyond that a little bit. And then it becomes evident that they're also posturing. It's a lot of posturing in that. So they're providing a thin veil to a posture that feels disingenuous. And that they're confused. There's no clear intent. I wish I could be more specific, but I can't. So what I've been saying to people around me especially is, this is what I'm learning. This is what I'm seeing. You need clear intent all the way across the board. In your work, in your portfolios, in your ideas. Clear intent in how you're producing your work, the quality of the work. You need clear intent. And I've been saying this for 7 years, but now it's popped up in a more tangible way for me. So I'm much more, I feel much more qualified to say that. But now in the application process as well, as I said in the last video, there are 4, I'm going to be trying to be clearer this time. There are 4 categories that they're being graded, not judged, but graded on. One is technical merit and craftsmanship. Number 1 is technical merit and craftsmanship. Number 2 is scope. Number 3, innovation and originality. Number 4, creativity and clarity. So technical merit, craftsmanship. 2, scope. 3, innovation and quality, innovation and originality. 4, creative clarity. So those are the 4 categories that we're working off of. Within those 4 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 5 sets of numbers that I can use, or we can use, to grade the artist. So in those 4 categories, there are 5 sets of numbers that we can use to grade the artist. And the 5 sets of numbers have clear instructions attributed to each one. So it's not willy-nilly. It's not me going, It's very, very clear. And I'll read, I wasn't going to do this because this is going to run on forever, but I'm going to read the five different grades under each of the 4 categories. We can choose the numbers 0 through 4, for there is little to no evidence of technical skill in relation to the work. The medium or techniques used do not appear to serve the goals of the work. The next grades are 5 through 9. The applicant demonstrates basic technical ability, but the application of skill does not fully support or enhance the work's purpose or outcome. The next level of grading is 10 through 14. The applicant demonstrates a competent level of technical skill, but the connection between technique and the intended outcome could be more refined or cohesive. The 5 through 19, level 5 through 19, the applicant demonstrates strong technical skills that are well aligned with the goals of the work. The medium and techniques are effectively utilized to enhance the work. And then levels 20 through 25, the applicant shows exceptional mastery of their mediums, with technical skill clearly enhancing and supporting the objectives of the work. The execution is refined and precise. And so far, I've only run into one that falls under the 20 to 25 category. Or I've graded one artist who falls in the 20 to 25 category in technical merit, scope, But I've just run into three that are also that I will be grading in that excellence level. I, however, found this one artist who, when I first went through all the applications, I pulled up his application, and the first problem, and I'm looking at I've got my laptop here. The first problem I see in this is that he considers himself an accomplished artist, but he provided 0 images of his work. That is the first thing on the application. Provide up to 10 images of your work. He provided 0. And I went, okay, maybe it's an oversight. Apparently, I thought maybe he's old like me, and got a little confused. It turns out he's not old like me. He's actually a lot younger than I am. Not a 12-year-old, but younger. What is he? He's in his 30s, I think. And he's in his 30s. He filled out the forms adequately, calls himself accomplished. So I was like, okay, we'll go through. And I looked at the achievements, but I don't really care about the achievements. I don't care because not everyone is provided big opportunities. I mean, I'm looking at applicants who went to Yale and have shown at this museum and that. That's lovely. You've had the leg up. Congratulations. That's not going to weigh on my decision. What's going to weigh on me are other things that I've already outlined. Anyway, so I went from the 0 images to his website, and there are 11 images total on his website, and they're okay. They're not great. 1 or 2, the technique was leaning towards very good, almost excellent, and then some were just awful. But he's only produced 11 pieces of work to show anyone in the wider world. So this guy is going to get a very low grade, and I'll come back to him later. I'm not going to do that now, but I wish I could share the names with you, but that would be wrong. Ugh, that would be a breach of something or other. But I landed on the site, one of the 3 next sites or applications I'm landing on that are just over the top wonderful. Not over the top, they're just perfect. They're what we should all be trying to, or have learned to provide. This artist calls herself an emerging artist. From what I've seen, she is more accomplished than emerging. So I appreciate the humble, I guess, self-reflection, although I don't like humble. It's used incorrectly now in language now, but they don't see themselves as this big deal, whereas the guy who provided nothing sees himself as accomplished. But on her own, independent of this, I have 0 to show you artist, independent of that and not using it as quite the comparison it sounds like, this artist is very clear on what they're doing, what they want to do, at this location with this fellowship, how they want to create new work using what this fellowship will provide. Trying to think what else. Oh, it was the CV that really got me excited. The CV got me so excited. No one showed me how to write a CV. Nobody showed me how to do jack. I landed on this CV, and it is like no other CV I have ever seen. It is incredibly well organized, incredibly clear. My CV, if you go to my website, it's like, man, I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's kind of my life anyway. Now it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I totally get it. How, I'm responding in a way where I'm like, oh my God, I've got to, I don't know what I'm saying, rethink things. But take this as an example. This artist has broken down their CV, their resume, into several categories. And it's so clear, it's so perfect. Education. Education is the category, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm keeping notes. I'm keeping notes on all the artists. 1, 2, so we have 10 categories, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 10 categories that the artist has broken their experiences down into. It's so easy to read. It's a great presentation. So the first one is education. I read where they went to school. I don't care. The next section is experience. So they're listing off different things that they've done. The third is solo and 2-person exhibits. And I've seen this twice now in this process. 2-person exhibits. In fact, the artist who supplied nothing also had a 2-person exhibit category in their CV. Made themselves sound like they do things, but with no images on the application, 11 in their website, they're not doing much. So the veil is not covering the lack of work. So we've got education experience, solo, and 2-person exhibits. Category 4 is group exhibits. Category 5, grants and awards. Category 6, residencies. Category 7, talks and presentations. Category 8, publications. Category 9, service. Category 10, technical skills, which this person lists off, stuff like Procreate and Photoshop and that kind of a thing, all kinds of computer skills they have, which actually applies to what they do, to the visual work that they do. But I thought it was absolute genius that they'd been able to break it down so someone like me, someone like you can go in and see what they're capable of. So they're going to be, I was going to grade them while you're here. In fact, I think I'll do that now. So in terms of technical ability or technical presentation or technicality in their craftsmanship, I've seen the type of work that this person is presenting before. They are giving it a fresh new look, but I've seen it before. However, they're really good at what they're doing. It's clean, it's clear, it has form, it has flow. And they're not stuck to doing presenting one idea over and well, they kind of are, but what am I trying to say? Their work varies in scale, in mediums. So anyway, blah, 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 whatever I'm trying to say. I can give them up to 25 points in technical skill. I'm going to give them 25 points. In scope, does the applicant work engage with themes, problems, or ideas that they have relevance, have relevance beyond the individual? Yeah. Is there space for broader connections, either in terms of emotion, knowledge, societal relevance, or interdisciplinary influence. No, we're there, because also in their application, they've explained how they will use their fellowship to bring in other forms, other something or others, and apply it to the work. Like they're going to bring in sound, that kind of a thing. Have relevance beyond the individual. It actually does, because they're talking about a cultural issue. So I'm definitely giving them a 25 on that. Innovation and originality. This is where I'm faltering, because I've seen this before. In fact, I was at the local museum and saw work very, very, very similar to this, but I know from reading their CV they didn't see it. However, this isn't an anomaly. This isn't terribly original, although they're trying to give a fresh take on it. So innovation. The work demonstrates clear innovation, either in the conceptualization, approach, or execution of the project. The applicant challenges traditional methods. No. That would be, in our levels, that would be grading between the numbers 15 and 19. No. Not really. Grading between the numbers 10 to 14. The work introduces some original elements or approaches, but may still rely on familiar concepts. And I'm definitely in that category. And I'm going to give, to be honest, I think I'm going to give this artist a 10, between 10 and 14. I think I'm going to give them a 10, because, yes, I've already seen this. In fact, I've started seeing work similar to this like 20 years ago. And saw it again in multiple shows in Rhode Island and in Connecticut and here. And so I'm going to give them a 10. I think that's fair. Creative clarity. Does the applicant demonstrate a clear and focused vision or purpose in their artistic practice? Yes, definitely. That's a creative clarity definition, or part of it. And I've read the CV, I've read the artist statement, I've read their purpose essay, and they're very, very clear. So between the level of numbers 20 and 25 that I can grade them in, the applicant demonstrates exceptional creative clarity, articulating a deep, insightful, and focused vision of their artistic practice. This artist is right there. All they need is time and funding to get where they want to be, or to be able to think. I can see what this artist just needs time and money to think. So I've totaled up the 4 different categories. The artist could have 100 points. But because of the grading system that we just went through, they've got an 85. And so we are going to submit an 85, and I'll write in some notes later. This is the stuff I really want to share with you. I was going to go through the other 3 artists, but we're at 30 minutes now, so I'm not going to take this any further. I'll come back to it. This is the stuff I am sharing with artists locally. We'll be holding a couple of salons at an upcoming artist in residence I have for March and April here in town. We're going to be sharing things like this and sharing ideas. I think it's important. Because not everybody, like me, has access to this type of insight. So that's why I'm sharing it here, so that you have insight into what may be happening with a juror or jurors or a fellowship or a grant. And hopefully next time I will have had more coffee and be more clearer. Anyway, I'm Beck Lane. Ciao. Ciao. Meow. Meow. Hey. Oh, Carrie. Hi. Oh, where are you? There we go. Carrie and Carrie. Near. Hi. Hey. Hope you're hanging in there. and Julie, of course. Ciao. Meow, meow, meow.